good. It's a triple-double for Bella Earl.
Goes matched up with a speedy guard. Great screen, spin move, layup, he missed it. Williamson fights for the board. His putback is good.
It is mid-February, and we're back on the Straight Outta Whack podcast. Coming off of a Texas two-step sweep of Tarleton State and Abilene Christian, the CBU women's basketball team finds themselves with a 2-game lead in the WAC regular season standings and the race for the final WAC regular season title, as they embark on a 3-game homestand consisting of Southern Utah, Utah Tech, and Utah Valley over the next week. Joining us on the Straight Outta Whack podcast on a Tuesday afternoon is CBU's Filipa Barros. Barros had 32 points in a win over UT Arlington at home just before the road trip began and followed it up with another pair of back-to-back scoring performances. Barros is also in the national top 100 in 4 other statistical categories, according to the most recent NCAA stat report, which is through Sunday night, which we'll talk about too as we go along. Filipa, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for the invite.
Yeah. Let's kind of take a look back at this first half, I guess you could say, of WAC play. You guys came into the start of conference play on a 6-game losing skid, although I guess 4 of those were games that came down to the final possession or 2 legitimately. Did you guys feel like you were in a good spot despite losing 6 straight at Christmas?
No, of course no. Like, whenever you lose 6 games in a row, like, we were in a really tough spot. But our main goal was, like, going home for Christmas and trying to, like, reset everything. And, well, I know, like, non-conference matters a lot, but, like, all we want to win is the conference. So, like, we just started everything from the beginning. We cleared our minds, and we just came with everything for the first game on conference against Utah Valley. And basically, we just started from the zero.
And you guys have racked off, 10 wins in conference play, 6 of which have been on the road to lead the conference in a year where the home teams have been impressive on their home floors this year. 27-12 through 6 weeks of conference play. How impressive is that to think that of the 12 road wins racked up by the 7 teams in the conference, you guys have half of them?
I know we were trying to do it, like, when we went to Texas this last week, we were trying to do whatever no one did in a WAC. Our main goal was, like, trying to win both games on the road, and no one did that. So that was our main goal, and the same happened in Utah. And it's always easier to play at home. So if we could win on the road, like, it's going to make us in a better position whenever the other teams come to CBU.
It's like winning those ones on the road is like bonus points, right? Especially going into Moody Coliseum, where you guys lost 2 years ago in a double overtime thriller. And Andy Penny and I were actually rehashing that game from 2 years ago that went to double overtime, where you guys only had 4 on the floor.
I know.
And foul-outs.
I remember I missed that shot, but we still had an open shot, even though we were 4 players on the floor.
So in the fourth quarter against ACU, did that, scenario of the game-winning shot enter your mind, or is it just one possession at a time and you just fight through it and Chloe hits the big one to get you guys a little bit of a gap there at the end?
Well, at the beginning of the third quarter, I got a little bit stressed because we were like, we were up by 6 points, I think. And after we went down by 3. So I started getting a little bit nervous. But, like, how I play and how the team plays is, like, step by step, position by position. So, well, Chloe was open and she made a big shot for us at the end. But it was just not that shot she made. She made, like, 5 more before, but that one was very important too.
All right. So what's the next question I got to ask is,
Chloe just heard me.
The next question hey, Chloe, the next question I got to ask Filipa is, how quickly, with all the trips you guys have taken to Texas over the years, how quickly have the international players taken to Texas barbecue?
Oh, gosh.
I don't think we ever went there.
We have had barbecue before. Last year.
Oh, last year.
It's not really their forte, but, we have to eat it. If the team's eating it, they got to eat it.
Yeah, we have to. We have no choice.
I just want to think about Filipa. This is random, but I just walked by the pool because I went to go get lunch. And this girl is dealing with an ACL injury. And she was like, you need to tell Filipa that I want to come over because I want to see how she handled her injury. And she was asking me how long she was out for. And I was just telling her. And she said, was Filipa this player before the injury? And I was like, yes. Filipa's always been this player. But I think that the injury and the time that she took off made her love the game so much more, to the point where that's why she's having so much success this year, And it's just crazy how this girl plays soccer, and Filipa's inspiring her through her injury, overcoming that, and then having a lot of success this season. So I think that's really cool.
Thank you.
Yes.
What are those conversations like when you're talking to other athletes on campus, who are going through something similar to what you went through last year? Are they like hard conversations? Are they like really candid, or do you have to kind of start from, okay, this is going to be a long road back?
I know. I would say last year that would be like a very hard conversation for me, but now I'm just happy that I can help someone that. Well, I can't compare my injury to an ACL, like to someone that turned her ACL, but I'm just happy that I can help a little bit with that, and then can make someone looking at me and be like, oh, I'm going to be fine. If Filipa went through that and she's playing well, I'm going to do the same. And I'm just happy that I can help someone.
So when you're sitting out last year, because you played the first couple of games, that brutal schedule to start last year, and then you sat out the remainder of the year. What did you learn watching the game from the coach's perspective that you've taken into this year?
A lot of things that I learned, like, it was, I would say, like, I learned how to watch the game on a different view. Like, we all think that you only play well if you score points. But seeing from the outside, like, I would see my teammates getting so many important rebounds. And, like, sometimes it's from the rebounds or from the steals that other people can score points. So seeing a couple of my teammates doing that, it made me want to do that more. But yeah, I was also like doing the possessions board at like every game, and I think that helped me a lot. And even though like watching Grace playing, Chloe playing, CC playing, Shawnee playing, I think it was very good for me like coming back this season. So I knew more about them and the way that they play and like their best skills. So now I can help them like succeed a little bit more.
Did you become better at watching film through that process?
Yeah, for sure. I think like I give more importance to film now than I'll probably like would give in the past.
So as I mentioned earlier, you're in the NCAA Top 100 in about 4 different categories as I ran through the report this morning. Rebounds, steals, assists, and there's one other one that I can't put my finger on. I want to say you're the only one that has a triple-double in the WAC this year. I think that was the other one that I forgot. Mm-hmm. Talk about the process of becoming a well-rounded point guard, right? Mm-hmm. From where you were freshman year to where you are now. Would you even recognize the player on tape from freshman year?
Filipa's on freshman year was very scared. I had no confidence because, well, I was still struggling a little bit from the European game to the American game because it's a completely different game. But like I started getting more minutes when I started doing these little things, like things that players usually don't do it, like getting rebounds, like trying to be good on defense, get some steals. So I knew it was like from the other things I was going to start playing. So I don't know, I just started focus on that because when you do this, like all of these things, you're going to end up scoring and you're going to help the team. And it's a little bit from like where I'm from. That's where I grew up because it's in the north of Portugal. Like people say like we want so much and that's what we do. I don't know. That's like the kind of style of that we play back home.
How different is the international game from the American game?
So I would say in Europe, it's more tactical. Like you have a lot of set plays and like long plays. Like if something happened in one side of the court, and in another side of the court is also another things happening. And here it's more like 101, I would say, like more ball screen 101.
Is it hard to kind of go back and forth between that, like when you play at CBU and then go back home to play with the national team?
Yeah, every time I go back to national team, they don't really like that. They don't like the 101. They prefer like playing more as a team, like a lot of ball movement, and we find the shooter or like the player that will ended up scoring. But well, now I feel like I can do both, so which is pretty good for me.
How long does it take to kind of go back and forth between the two? Is it like a week or two to
Yeah,
kind of reset?
yeah. Usually on the national team, you're there for like 2 months, 3 months, but it only takes like a week, I would say, to get back on the system.
All right, you guys are, coming off of this big road trip sweep with the close win over ACU. The funny thing about the series with ACU is the road team has won the last couple of games in that series, as Andy Penny pointed out last week. You guys now come home and you're facing a Southern Utah team that not only led by 18 at Tarleton, but lost to you guys in OT in Cedar City on January the 10th, basically a month ago tomorrow. Knowing those two things and you have a 2-game lead to protect, how big is Thursday night in the grand scheme of things?
I know we were just literally talking about that beginning of practice. Like we know it's a really important game for us, but it's even more important for Southern Utah because if we win this game, it's gonna make us in a really good position. So I don't know, like it's the next game, so it's the most important game, and we're just going to the game with everything. We always want to win, so we're just gonna try to do that one more time.
What's it like to play in Fowler versus some of the other WAC venues, right? Because I think playing on the numbers have bared it out this year. Home teams have done really, really well this year. And just talk about kind of the advantage they give you guys playing at home.
Yeah, it's just like the fans. The fans are a really big thing for us. But I feel like you practice every day on the gym. You go shoot every night on the gym. So you're just like more used to it. And at the same time, it's your home court. No one wants to lose at home. So maybe you just have more energy when you play at home.
Yeah, and that definitely makes sense because you're sleeping in your own bed. You're not flying 2 time zones.
Yeah.
Or busing into a time zone for the Utah trips, which, by the way, I think you guys have
2 more.
2 more. Yeah, one more Texas trip.
No, 2 more.
2 more Texas trips. Yeah, that's right. Just what's the travel? Have you kind of become an old hat, savvy veteran when it comes to the travel in the WAC?
Yeah, for me, like the time zone, it's not that bad. Because when I have to travel all the way from Portugal to here, that it's bad. It's 8 hours different. Here, it's just like 2 hours, 1 hour. So I don't think it's that bad. I don't feel like any difference from that. But of course, like sleeping in a hotel, it's not like pretty good for me. Like I'd rather sleep at home than having to sleep in a hotel, and that's what I struggle the most, I would say.
Just trying to sleep on the road.
Yeah, it's very difficult for me. Or like even the food. As an international, it's pretty hard. Like I don't really want to eat, but I have to. Yeah.
Have you kind of found like your favorite places on the road then?
No, not really. Well, if we go to an Italian restaurant, I'm good. That's all I ask for it the day before the game. So I can get my pasta.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we are, we're recording this on a Tuesday, but by the time it probably gets out, we're going to be a month until the final WAC Vegas of CBU's WAC era. What would it mean to you guys to close out this the final regular season title and, do the double, win in Vegas and close out both?
Well, for me, the main goal is winning the WAC tournament. But of course, like I want to win the regular season plus the WAC tournament. But yeah, that would be very cool. Like one of my biggest dreams in life is playing March Madness. So it's gonna be very nice if we can be able to win both of the trophies. But yeah, we'll see. The most important game for me it's on Thursday, so I don't really think about the future.
Just talk about kind of some new roles and new faces and new roles like Chloe coming off the bench, and then the impact Lauren Olson has made on this team basically from the second game of the year at Pacific. Like the Saturday you guys were at Pacific, I was at a Starbucks in Anaheim killing some time before a CIF volleyball championship. And I put on the second half of the Pacific game, and she just goes off in her second game, and then she's kind of run from there.
I know we all knew that Lauren was good. We all knew since summertime. Like she's good. We all know that. But like being a freshman, like I never played with a freshman that like start like up here. They usually like go down, down, and they go up. But she, since the second game of the season, she went crazy, and she's doing great. She's a great teammate. She works a lot, and just the work is paying. So she's doing amazing. And Chloe, we all know Chloe's a great player, well, the best shooter in Oaxaca, in my opinion. And having her starting from the bench, it doesn't really matter because she still plays 30 minutes. But it's a really good, I think it's really good for us because no one is expecting her like to come crazy. And that's what we call her. Like she's our fire. So every time she's on a game, she kills it.
Okay, so you guys have done, the regular season double both times. You've won the title. Last time in 24, it resulted in a trip to UCLA, and that's where most folks have you guys right now, except with the exception of one national bracketologist that has you guys playing Texas and Austin or in Fort Worth. What would it mean to get, stay in Southern California if you guys, and play UCLA again if you guys were to win the WAC tournament? I know playing anybody in the national tournament, NCAA tournament, is the NCAA tournament, but the history of a UCLA, right, and just how close they are to home, right, would mean more Lancer fans would get to see that matchup again.
Yes. Okay, I would love to play against UCLA because I didn't have the opportunity to play 2 years ago because I was hurt. And like it's just different. Like 2 years ago, everyone from CBU came. Like all of our friends were there. Like my teammates' family were able to come. I think it just means more because like we have like all of our people there, and it makes like the team like getting even more closer.
Just how many times has your family gotten to see you play since you come to CBU?
Just one time on my sophomore year in January, they came to watch the game against Utah Valley, my mom and my dad. And my brother came here on freshman year to watch in December to watch a game against Western Kentucky, against a Portuguese girl.
Okay. So is there another trip in the works, maybe for Vegas weekend, for them to come see the final CBU WAC tournament?
I would love to, but sadly they're not coming. Very expensive.
Oh yeah, yep. As I'm trying to book stuff for that weekend already.
Oh, but well, I would love to. Well, who knows? Maybe they will surprise me. I don't know, but that I know they're not coming.
All right. So, talk about your kind of your CBU journey, right? How Coach Olson found you, coming from the international system to learning the American game to learning English. Because from what I remember, he said that your English wasn't that good to start with, and you've made huge strides over the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. So, like, I played for the national team, and I was also playing the first league in Portugal. And we had a coach 2 years ago. She was here on my freshman and sophomore year. It was Angie. She's the head coach at CSUN. She also played in Portugal, so like she kind of knows some people from home. So, well, they sent it to her video of me, and they liked me. So, like, we did a couple of FaceTimes around October, I would say. And, well, one of the main reasons that I signed from CBU was because they were the university that showed more interest for me. And also because I didn't need to take an English exam. And other schools, I know they were going to ask me for an English exam. And I loved everything about CBU and the plus not having to take an English exam. So I just decided to sign like probably like a week later. But yeah, my first semester at CBU, I had to go to an English program. It was an intensive English program. I would only have like grammar, listening, speaking, presentation skills because I failed one exam that I had to take it here. And yeah, I was just learning English because I couldn't talk to people.
So what like really helped you make progress in terms of your English fluency? That program, watching maybe American TV, reading magazines, stuff like that.
I tried to read. I tried to watch movies with no captions, but I couldn't do that. It was too hard. I couldn't read. So it was just like being around my teammates when I got here, being around them. Like they would force me talking in English and being at practice. But also like the English program helped me a lot because like I was literally learning probably whatever like the American people learn when they're like 6 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, but that was very helpful.
Okay, so as you embark on this homestand, talk about kind of the stretch run and what it means for this program to be playing meaningful basketball in February again. Because last year was a tough year for you guys. I mean, you guys had fought your way back to second place in the regular season standings, and let's be realistic, it was going to take something near divine for somebody to beat GCU last year. So for you guys to be in this spot, right, mid-February with the regular season lead of 2 games, what does it mean to you guys? And kind of talk about closing it out or as we get to the end of the month.
Like, it means a lot that we're on this spot right now and not on the spot that we were last season. Last season we had like everything that could have happened to us happened. Everyone was hurt, everyone was injured, like no one was healthy. So it kind of like made sense why we weren't doing that good. But well, it's easy to talk about it right now, but like we worked a lot during the summer. Like we did everything we could. Like we had so many like practices that we were like dying. We couldn't more. We had so many like we had to run the mile. I remember like running around the track field with plates. Like it was tough the summer. So I think it was because of the summer that we're in this position right now, and it means a lot. And hopefully, like it keeps going that well, and we can go to March Madness.
Yeah, because you guys have gotten into a position now where you can pressure people for a legitimate quarter now, if the situation calls for it, and that's got to take some conditioning, right? Especially in Utah at altitude.
No, yeah, it's tough playing in Utah. I forgot how tough it was playing there.
How hard is altitude versus sea level to get used to?
I feel like you just kind of have to learn how to breathe more with your mouth and not just with your nose, because it's just different. Like I never experienced something like that until I got here, but I feel like it's just like the first quarter that is tough. After that, you just get used to it. At least that's what happened to me.
It's just like playing anywhere else after that first quarter.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that every time I'm playing.
Well, and the way they space the schedule, it's for the most part you're playing 2 on the same trip.
Yes.
So it's not like you're going out there for one and then coming home for somebody else and having to go back.
No, yeah.
They pretty much come together. So all right, let's do some a little bit of rapid fire type thing here. So we'll start with, what is one show that is on the Netflix, Hulu, Peacock, Paramount, Tubi binge watching list? Maybe as you're on a flight throughout the WAC.
I don't watch I don't watch shows. I have no idea.
Are you okay? So are you like on the team plane? Are you like the one that has a book in her hand the entire time, or do you crash out once they take off?
No, I have no book. I'm just there.
All right. Team window, center, or aisle?
The second one.
Center? So the middle seat?
Yeah, I like to have both of my teammates to talk to.
All right. All right. What is in your what are some of your your travel go-to essentials?
I for sure need my AirPods. It's the most important thing for me.
All right. And then in terms what do you have with you in terms of like the munchies for a 3-hour flight to Texas?
Wait, what'd you say?
So what do you have in terms of like the snacks for a 3-hour flight to Texas?
Oh, I love fruit snacks. It's something that I don't have at home, and I found out here in America, fruit snacks. I be eating that a lot.
Like the Welch's
yeah,
gummy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
Favorite off-campus dining spot in Riverside?
Off campus. Um, Let me think. I would say In and Out.
Okay. That was a staple when I played high school golf out here. That was our go-to every match.
But I prefer In and Out. But I
Oh,
also things a lot.
okay. Let's see. Best and worst subjects in school.
The best. Okay, worst is English class for sure. The best one. When I was at home, I was a big fan of the Portuguese class. I really like to learn. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What is your major and what do you want to do after basketball?
My major is public relations with a minor in business. What I want to do, I want to play pro, but whenever I'm done with basketball, I would like to be somewhere on the TV. I don't know, something related to the TV or like a reporter, like during the game,
Okay.
something like that.
All right. Let's see. Favorite beach trip in Southern California?
Okay, I love Venice Beach. People don't really like it and they think I'm crazy, but it's just because it's like a movie for me.
Oh, God. Okay.
I would play that on GTA.
All right. What is one word to describe the personality of this CBU team?
Mm, I think resilient.
All right. Yeah, that's a good one.
Hmm.
Um, One word to describe this team on the road. Are you guys quiet? Are you guys loud on the bus? Are you
We're pretty chill. I think
okay?
pretty chill. Yeah.
Well,
You
with mostly upperclassmen, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, the back of the bus, it's loud. The front of the bus is chill. I'm on a back.
All right. Last book you read.
I have no idea. It was probably like when I was in middle school, whenever professor told us to read a book, and I have no idea what was the name. I don't. Sadly, I don't like to read.
Okay. Let's see. One piece of recruiting advice for the high school juniors and seniors out there.
One advice. Um, I would just say never give up, and if you have a dream, just fight for it.
All right. And let's see. I think that will close out there.
Okay.
So that's actually a good piece of advice, knowing that our high schools are going to start the playoffs here on Thursday night, with same time you guys are playing Southern. So that's actually a good piece of advice for the upperclassmen out there. CBU's Filipa Barros, thank you so much for joining us on the Straight Outta Whack podcast on a Tuesday afternoon. The Lancers return to the Fowler Event Center floor Thursday night with a rematch against Southern Utah. The Lancers eked out a road win in Cedar City the first time those two teams played. If you're home, turn on ESPN Plus at 6 o'clock. It'll be Travis Van Nody and Taylor Kilgore with the call. Thank you so much, Filipa.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening to the Straight Outta Whack podcast. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other podcasting platforms. Be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Remember to follow Whack Hoops Nation on all your favorite social media platforms.